Yo, what is up everybody? It's me, the Unweeb here, back with part 3 for What If Naruto was the reincarnation of the Sage of the Six Paths. So I hope you guys are ready for this one. You guys have been waiting for it. It's Monday, just as the schedule said, so that'll be coming out. A few hours after this, I'll be posting the first act for the Naruto movie, A Leaf on the Wind. This time, I think it'll be good. Yesterday I didn't have enough recorded because I'm trying to, because either I stuttered, or like that, right there, or I had some sort of, like, audio issue that I had to change, so I had to work on that. But anyway, that'll be done, and that'll be coming out, and I'll be working on the scripts for all the other stuff this week. But I hope you guys enjoy this. Make sure to hit the like button, comment down below what you think, as well as subscribe to the channel for more, and let's get right back into the what if. So, as you guys, let's get into a recap really quickly, and then we'll start off. As you guys remember from last time, Naruto and the team had been assigned to the Land of Waves mission with Tazuna, where they were supposed to protect the bridge builder from any harm, as well as anything that might befall him in general. Now Team 7 of Kakashi, Sasuke, Rock Lee, as well as Naruto, begin to head out on their mission. Rock Lee is excited as ever as tears flow down his face, holding his fists in the air, which is covered with bandages, as he says that this is going to be the best mission ever, and he's going to show that he truly is a splendid ninja. Naruto is calmly walking along with his eyes closed when he suddenly opens them, sensing something. Naruto's Rinnegan activate quickly as he can sense the presence of chakra nearby. He directs Kakashi towards the signal and says that there's 2 weakish chakra signatures coming from this way, about Chunin level if he were to say so himself. At that point, 2 Chunin, just as Naruto had said, come rushing out of the woods, and Naruto, who deals with it rather quickly in fact, creates 3 shadow clones. Each of these clones then create a different bullet style. A lightning, mud, as well as water style bullet all come shooting out of the clones' fingers as they blast into the 2 Chunin as machine gun style. Immediately, all of the Chunin get